TikTok, with its algorithmic magic, has become a cultural force since its launch back in 2016. It's a space where trends are born, norms are challenged, and beauty standards are continuously evolving. The algorithm ensures that the content you see aligns with your preferences. But how does this impact our idea of beauty? To explore this, we have to take it all the way back to 2016, where it all started. TikTok's journey began back in September 2016 when the Chinese tech company called ByteDance launched this short-form app called Douyin. I hope I'm saying it right. I'll put the name because I don't know how to pronounce stuff. This app, Douyin, allowed users to create 15-second videos on the app. They could do whatever they wanted. It was basically like Vine. But the primary focus on the videos on the app were dancing videos and lip-syncing videos. And since the app's launch, it was doing really well, and the company realized how much potential this app had. So by September 2017, that's when they launched the international version of this app, which is known as TikTok. And by November 2017, ByteDance, the company that started TikTok, got the rights of the app Musical.ly, and Musical.ly was already popular. I remember back in my day, I'm not even old though, but I remember like TikTok was the ish back in the day. Everyone was on the app. I never understood the hype, to be honest, but I know a lot of people liked it though, so it was really popular in Europe, Canada, and United States. By August 2018, TikTok merged with Musical.ly, which expanded their reach globally. Merging these two apps together proved to be a strategic move for TikTok, and I know whoever's idea that was, they definitely got a pay raise, because merging these two apps together propelled TikTok into international stardom, and it quickly became one of the most downloaded apps ever. When I tell you TikTok was everywhere, it was everywhere, especially when it first came out. The girls were eating it up. All of my peers were always talking about it. They were talking about the next dance video they're gonna do, and they were trying to become TikTok famous and create the next dance trend. And honestly, I was reluctant to even download TikTok in the first place. I was like, girl, I don't care about this, because I never downloaded Vine or Musical.ly. Like, I was just not into that. I just thought those apps were boring. But I remember I finally gave in and downloaded TikTok 2020. Yes, it was 2020. And honestly, I understood the hype. I can't lie. Once I downloaded TikTok, I was hooked. The For You page on that app is insane. And I think that's why it really hooked me in, because Vine and Musical.ly, they never really had a For You page, and they never really had a way to pull you in. But TikTok does a really good job at personalizing your For You page to make you stay on that app for hours. There are so many content creators on TikTok, so you're bound to find your community and find content creators that you like and can engage with. However, since there are so many content creators out there, it can become overwhelming trying to find your group and your tribe. But have no fear, because TikTok does have subcultures within the app that focus on specific topics. There's book talk, where the focus is on books, literature, book reviews, reading recommendations, and creative interpretations of books. There's also alt TikTok, which is alternative TikTok, which focuses on alternative music, fashion, aesthetics. And then there's one of the biggest subcultures on TikTok, which we will be talking about in today's video, and that is beauty talk. So the focus of beauty talk is, you guessed it, beauty, but also skincare, makeup tutorials, product reviews, and beauty related trends. Apparently, the goal of beauty talk is to embrace individuality and to embrace people's differences and just create a space where everyone feels included. But this could not be further from the truth. But it feels like every day I wake up and go on TikTok, there's a new beauty trend that is trending and everyone is trying to hop on that, and I'm just like, girl, like, can I breathe? And I even remember the glass skin trend that was trending earlier this year, I believe, and it refers to a skincare trend that focused on achieving a radiant, dewy complexion. Basically, the goal was to have your skin looking so clear, dewy, and smooth that it looked reflective and translucent like glass. So a lot of TikTok users with amazing skin would share their product recommendations and would also just share their skincare routines to help us achieve the, glass skin look. The gag is, if you actually search up the glass skin trend and how to get glass skin, you realize that it's nothing special. I went on this article and basically it was just wash your face, use toner, use exfoliator, use a good moisturizer. Basically everything we have already known. TikTok just repackages old stuff and brands it as something new and revolutionary, and then everyone goes crazy and then wants to participate in it. And since TikTok has launched, I have noticed a lot of beauty trends come and go. These trends are seen as fun and harmless, but they all have one thing in common. They make us view normal features that humans should have as insecurities. I never knew what a hip dip was until I went on TikTok, and then when I realized what it was, I was like, wait, why are we insecure about this? But we will talk about hip dips and other trends later on in this video. All of these beauty trends on TikTok have a significant impact on today's beauty standards, and we need to talk about it. And by the end of this video, you can answer this question: are you ugly, or do you just go on TikTok too much? We'll find out. Let's get into it. Yeah. So let's begin this video by talking about the homogenization of beauty. And yes, we are using big girl words today. Homogenization is the process of making things uniform or similar. So we are going to talk about how TikTok perpetuates beauty standards that force us to all look the same. And it's somewhat working because a lot of the girlies and guys do be looking the same, but let's explore this further. Today's beauty standards are shallow, and that's just how it is, and this is literally nothing new. If you have watched my previous videos on pretty privilege, I talk about how you're treated better once you're deemed attractive by society's standards. But I also made another video saying that if you're too attractive, then you're also treated worse. So you should check out those videos because I think they offer interesting perspectives on this topic, and maybe I'm a little bit biased, but whatever. Anyways, let's explore the concerning phenomenon of homogenization in beauty standards on TikTok. While the platform celebrates diversity to a certain extent, there is an observable trend where certain beauty ideals become dominant, leading to a more uniform and standardized perception of attractiveness. One of the key factors that contributes to this problem is the dominance of specific beauty trends. TikTok's algorithm tends to prioritize and amplify content that fits into the beauty standards. Remember the glass skin trend I was talking about earlier. People who had clear skin and beautiful, smooth skin like a baby's bottom, they were the faces of the glass skin trend. They were everywhere. You cannot swipe on TikTok without seeing a girl with beautiful skin talking about how she got it using X, Y, and Z. It became really popular to the fact that it was pushed beyond TikTok. It was on YouTube, it was on Instagram, I think it was on Twitter too. It was basically everywhere. And this just shows TikTok's impact. Trends that start on TikTok move to other social media platforms, which pushes this beauty standard onto many more people. But as I stated earlier, the glass skin trend is nothing revolutionary and it's nothing special. It's basically like a regular skincare routine. But people are capitalizing off of the hype and recommending a bunch of products, which I don't blame them for. You gotta make money. I get that, cool. But the thing is that those products and the glass skin trend in general does not work out for everyone. There's a lot of reasons why people don't have clear and even skin. It's actually really hard to have skin that is super smooth and even and perfect if you don't have good genetics. And this even reminds me of Keke Palmer, because I remember, I think last year or 2 years ago, she talked about her struggles with adult acne. So Keke Palmer said that she was diagnosed with polycystic ovary syndrome in 2020, which is the reason why she has adult acne. And she expressed how shocked she was to find out that doctors have not been able to find a cure for adult acne. And the tea is that Keke Palmer is a very successful, beautiful, and wealthy woman. So if anyone's gonna be able to access the cure for adult acne, it would be her. She has money and she has the resources to be connected to the best dermatologists, the best skincare professionals, so she can get the best of the best. But I won't lie, I love the fact that Keke Palmer is so open and honest and showed us pictures too. She showed us that, yeah, girl, my skin's not clear, it's not cute, but I'm still in this industry, I'm still pushing through. And I love to see that because in the entertainment industry, we see a lot of beautiful women with clear skin, skin so clear. So it was really nice that Keke Palmer was open about it and just said hey, I'm up in this business, but I still got acne too. And I know money cannot fix everything, but I'm sure you have heard of the saying that you're not ugly, you're just broke. Basically, money can make you look more attractive. And I do think there's a lot of truth behind that, because when you have money, you can get your hair done, your nails done, get the best skincare, you can get a personal trainer, you can get your face done, you can do some surgeries, you can do a lot with money. So it is interesting to see someone of Keke Palmer's wealth not be able to treat her acne, which at no fault of her own. Obviously, I'm not trying to shade her for not being able to treat it. This is life, and acne is a normal part of life. But it does make me think of the people who are not wealthy, who have to deal with acne and get ridiculed for it on a daily basis. I do wonder how they felt when they saw that the glass skin trend was taking the world by storm. All they could do was watch other people show off their genetically good skin and claim that all of the skincare products help them achieve that glass skin. But if you got acne, if you got uneven skin, pores, or all that, girl, I feel you. Because growing up, I had acne too, and it was so freaking annoying. I tried everything in the book, and I actually only cleared up my acne maybe 2 or 3 years ago. So I do understand the struggle. I understand how mean people are to you when you have acne. So I just wanted to send you guys some love if you're struggling with acne, because I know how much of a bitch it can be struggling with it. But just know you're not alone, and there's a lot of people who are struggling with acne, and acne is a very, very normal thing. And I can guarantee right now, if you opened up TikTok, the first thing you would see is someone with some clear skin. In fact, let me try that. Let's see. I'm gonna open TikTok right now, and let's just see. Yep. I mean, like, it's not a girl, but it's a guy, yep, and he got some clear skin. And if you have clear skin, no shade, but I'm just saying that we need to stop acting like everyone in the world has clear skin. And when you fit into these beauty standards, such as having clear glass skin, it results in a saturation of similar beauty aesthetics while propelling certain creators who fit into that aesthetic to fame. That's why we have the D'Amelios, Addison Rae, Bella Poarch, and these beauty standards also affect guys too. That's why we have the Noah Becks, we have the Bryce Halls, the Chase Hudson or Huddy or whatever. The list goes on and on and on. And they all have similar features, such as being white, they're thin, they have clear skin, a nice body. Like, are we starting to see a pattern form? And for the longest time, these people were the most followed on TikTok, and they were actually the face of TikTok. When you thought of TikTok, you thought of them, especially Charlie. Like, I know the Hype House too, like that was a whole thing. I never really paid attention to them, but I'm pretty sure it was just a bunch of teens who were attractive and, you know, looked good. So there's that. But if you go on TikTok and all you see is the Addison Raes, the Charlie D'Amelios, and Noah Becks, you're gonna be like, damn, is something wrong with me? Because you're gonna see the same type of beauty being pushed onto you. TikTok can easily create a space where one type of beauty is represented and constantly shoved down your throat. This makes it easy to succumb to your insecurities and want to change the way you look so you look like the people that you're seeing on your screen. But let's dive further into these TikTok created insecurities that make you think you're ugly. Part 2, New Day, New Insecurity. It's no secret that the beauty community thrives off of the insecurities of women in particular, but also men. So it makes sense for the industry to constantly be creating new insecurities so that people can buy their products and spend their hard-earned coin on improving their appearance. Gone are the days where all we had to worry about was being fat or having acne. Now there's so much things we have to look out for, such as hip dips, a symmetrical face, almond eyes, high cheekbones, full lips. Like, dang, can we catch a break? But anyways, let's talk about it. As I mentioned earlier, it feels like every single day I go on TikTok, there is something new I should be insecure about. The beauty hashtag on TikTok as of November 2022 has over 100 billion views. And early content analysis shows that beauty is the highest appearance-focused category on TikTok. The culture of TikTok and the rise of video conferencing has actually led to a 35% increase in young women in particular seeking out cosmetic procedures since 2016. And I believe this 100% because a couple years ago, I remember I didn't see much people who looked like they got surgery done. When I was younger, I was not coming across like a BBL baddie. I was not coming across girls with like the duck lips. I wasn't coming across them that often, but now I don't see them like a lot compared to like maybe LA. I mean, I've never been to LA though, so I'm just assuming that LA has like a lot of people who have cosmetic procedures done, just because that's the impression I get. But if you're from LA, let me know. Maybe I'm wrong. But when I go out now, I at least see one person who has done something to their face or to their body, because I'll be honest, it's obvious. And the other day I was working and I was very surprised to see this, but I saw this girl. She was maybe max 18 years old and it looked like she was recovering from a nose job. She had like the plastic and the band-aid and everything. Obviously I didn't say anything. I didn't ask her anything, but it looked like she was recovering from it. But she looked quite young and I was like, oop. And I don't know her situation. Maybe she broke her nose, maybe something else, but it looked like how it looks when you're recovering from a nose job. But the point is that cosmetic procedures are becoming extremely popular, especially in young people. So thank you, TikTok. Let me just say this real quick, and I've said this multiple times before. I have no problem with cosmetic procedures. If you want to get a BBL, your boobs done, you want to get your lips done, whatever, cool, go and do it. I have no problem with that. My only problem is if you're getting it at a really young age. So your body is still changing, you're growing, you're developing. Why do you want to play with your body when you're so young? Like, let yourself grow a little bit, and then once you're mature enough, you can make that decision. And is this a safe place? Because I've been wanting to say this for a long time, but I just didn't want to get like dragged. Maybe it's a popular opinion, I don't know. I find that most of these surgeries don't look cute. It's giving cartoon, or it's giving uncanny valley, and it just like gives me like, ugh, like, you know. Uncanny valley is basically when humanoids or robots or digital characters look and behave almost like real human beings. And this phenomenon occurs because our brains recognize that they're human-like, but they're not quite humans, so it creates an uncomfortable feeling. So I hope that makes sense, but that's just the vibe that I get sometimes. I just feel like some people take the surgeries too far, and just the look itself doesn't look good or natural. Like, I find robots cool, but can we let robots look like robots and not like humans? Because that's when it like just gets weird, you know what I mean? Like, I've been seeing some weird ass robots, like the Tesla robot, that ish looks scary. But I'm getting off topic, so let me get back on topic. Anyway, so the first trend I want to talk about is Looksmaxxing. And I didn't know what this was literally until like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, but a lot of people have been talking about it on YouTube, and also my friend told me about it. So I was like, you know what, let me just see what the hype is. Let me see what this new trend is. Looksmaxxing is a digital community mainly comprised of young men seeking to enhance their physical attractiveness, and TikTok in particular has popularized it. Looksmaxxing involves seeking advice and tips to improve one's appearance with a focus on maximizing specific physical traits that an individual already possesses. So when I read that, I was like, okay, cool, like that makes sense. You want to improve how you look. That's normal. But what shocked me was that this term Looksmaxxing actually originated from an incel forum or an incel community. So the phrase Looksmaxxing dates back to 2015 actually, and it started on incel forums. And if you don't know what an incel is, let me go over it briefly. Incel is a term that originated from the combination of these two words, involuntary and celibate. If you identify as an incel, you are involuntarily celibate. Incel communities often emerge on online forums and social media platforms where individuals share their experiences, frustrations, and beliefs. The term incel has gained a lot of attention for its associations with misogyny, violence, and also extreme ideologies. And the way that I actually found out about the incel community is through Elliot Rodgers. And if you're into true crime, you have probably heard of Elliot Rodgers before. But basically in 2014, Elliot Rodgers went on a stabbing and shooting spree, and he killed up to 6 people in California. Elliot's actions were fueled by frustration over his virginity and a deep-rooted loathing of women, as outlined in a lengthy document he distributed before his attack. And when Elliot committed his crimes, he was praised as an incel hero by some. Only a few people in the community were looking up to him. So that's why the word incel has a negative connotation to it, and when you think of incel, you don't think of the greatest things. But it's much more deeper than that, so I might make a full video on incels if I feel like it, because I just basically summarized it, but it's much more deeper than that. But anyways, back to Looksmaxxing. TikTok Looksmaxxers often give basic hygiene advice such as washing your face, moisturizing, brushing your teeth, working out, with an air of irony and meme-like humor. And this part of Looksmaxxing to me seems normal. It's just basic advice on how to look good. But of course, if it was normal, I would not be talking about it, because there are extremes and unusual practices that are associated with Looksmaxxing, and mewing is one of them. So mewing involves tongue exercises aimed at achieving a more square jaw. The central idea behind mewing is to maintain correct tongue posture, which involves placing the tongue against the roof of the mouth and keeping the lips sealed. Proponents of mewing claim that this posture can positively influence facial appearance and in some cases lead to changes in the jawline structure. So I don't know if I explained that right, so I'm going to show you a video of what I mean.
Place the tip of your tongue slightly behind your teeth, then press the rest of your tongue to the roof of your mouth, then rest your teeth together slightly. Close your lips, create a suction hold by swallowing your saliva repeatedly. Swallow, swallow, swallow. This is the difference between having proper tongue posture and actively mewing.
So that's what mewing is, and to be honest, I'm still confused. I watched so many videos and I still don't really understand what it is, but just for funsies, let's try to mew.
Tip of your tongue slightly behind your teeth, then press the rest of your tongue to the roof of your mouth, then rest your teeth together slightly. Close your lips, create a suction hold by swallowing your saliva repeatedly. Swallow, swallow, swallow.
I don't care. Honestly, I have a nice enough jawline. I do not care about no mewing. But there's also a subculture of Looksmaxxers, and they are called hardmaxers. So they're interested in traditional cosmetic procedures, including surgeries like chin implants, rhinoplasty, and limb lengthening to achieve the perfect look. And the gag is, like, it doesn't even look cute. It's giving alien.
Alien superstar.
Alien superstar. A lot of these guys who are into looksmaxxing and who are known as, I guess, professional look maxers are nothing special. Like, no shade to y'all. They just look basic, I'll be honest. Like, I feel like some of them look like aliens and then some of them just look basic. But I don't really understand why it's seen as such a big deal or their appearance is such a big deal. But these TikTokers are encouraging people to become obsessed with minute facial features, such as their jawline, the symmetry of their face, and like the eye lift effect. It's bizarre and crazy how social media can really make you feel like you're the ugliest person in the world. And one of the top looksmaxxers people out there on TikTok is Syrian Psycho. And when I was stalking his page, like, I feel like this word cringe is overused, but I'm gonna use it because it was cringe. I hate when I see guys try to seduce me through like their screen. Like, just don't. Like, just gives me like an icky vibe. Like, it's just cringe. Like, do not be smiling at the camera. Do not be doing all that cringe-ish. Like, girl, it's not cute. Keep it to yourself. When I see all those like TikTok guys, those looksmaxxer guys, like, all I see is like that, you know, that bold glamour filter on TikTok? That's what I see when I see them. Like But it's just really weird to see how people are very obsessed with how this guy looks and how a lot of guys aspire to look like him. And the gag is that Syrian Psycho makes it seem like looksmaxxing is the reason why he looks like that. I really doubt that he does all of those jaw exercises, and I don't know if he got any cosmetic procedures done, but honestly it just looks like he works out, he takes care of his skin, and he eats better, and that is what helped him glow up, not all of that looksmaxxing BS. And I even saw this video about Syrian Psycho on TikTok, and I was shocked. I was like, y'all need Jesus, y'all need help, because something is wrong with you. Because the obsession with having the perfect face, and there's no such thing as the perfect face, let's just get that out of the way. But the obsession that you guys have is actually quite scary. And it is extremely unhealthy because the perfect face is unattainable. Like, unless you want to be a robot that's man-made, that's the only way you can have the perfect face, like the most symmetrical face in the whole world. But the video was basically ranking how attractive Syrian Psycho looks. And since he's like the #1 looksmaxxer, you would think he would get a 10 out of 10, because if he's not gonna get a 10 out of 10, then who the hell is? But let me just show you guys the video first.
How attractive is Syrian Psycho? Syrian has equal facial thirds, almond hunter green eyes with low set, thick and positively tilted eyebrows. He has an excellent jawline visibility. His skin is smooth and has great texture. He's got high set cheekbones, full lips, and he has a good hair texture. He's got a good nose shape and a good chin projection. Syrian's main flaws are on the jaw region. His lower jaw is slightly recessed. His gonial angle is on the higher side. He has a narrower than ideal lower third. His mid-face is on the longer side, and his face shape overall is long, and it ties in with the other mentioned features. Syrian is a 7.5 out of 10 facially. It is a high percentile attractive face. He stands at around 5'9". His frame is decent, and his physique is lean athletic. Syrian Psycho is a self-claimed looksmaxxer who's done a great transformation. Overall, his SMV is around 8.5 out of 10.
So yeah, they ended up giving him a 7.5 for facial attractiveness. And that's crazy because he's literally like considered the #1 looksmaxxer. It's actually funny because someone commented, if he is 7.5, then I'm -7.5. And this video brought up things that I never knew were considered bad or considered ugly. It talked about how his lower jaw was slightly recessed. And when they said that he had a lower than ideal third, I'm like, I had to log off because I'm like, what the hell does that mean? Like, every 2 seconds y'all want to bring up something and be like, yeah, this is a new insecurity, you have to get it fixed. Because when y'all start bringing science and all this facial symmetry bullshit into how attractive you should look, that's when I stop listening, because that's when you guys try to use all these big words to make people feel insecure about how they look. And this actually reminds me of that huge study that was done, I think last year, or I don't know, 2 years ago, but basically it was a study of finding the most beautiful woman in the world, and they named Bella Hadid as the most beautiful woman because she had the most symmetrical face, and Beyonce was actually second. Honestly, that whole study just pissed me off. Like, when I saw it, I'm like, why? No one asked for the study, no one cares about it, we do not need it. Stop trying to push one type of look and then accredit it to science to make it seem like your claims about beauty actually hold value, because they don't. Let science explain how atoms and molecules work. I do not need science to explain how beauty works. Thank you very much. And if you check out the study and look at who they chose as the top 10 most beautiful women in the whole world, you will see that they have a lot of similarities. And yeah, but that's tea for another day. And what's even more tea is the fact that the person who actually conducted the study is a plastic surgeon, and he's a man. Like, damn. Let's, as a collective, not let a plastic surgeon tell us who the most beautiful woman in the world is. And now that I think about it, I feel like maybe it was a marketing tactic, because he is a plastic surgeon, and when the news dropped that Bella Hadid is the most beautiful woman in the whole world, a lot of people had a lot of things to say, and it was all over my timeline. So who knows, maybe it was a marketing ploy, because he's like, yeah, Bella Hadid's attractive, but if you want to be attractive like Bella Hadid, come to my clinic and I can inject some stuff into your face. But honestly, I'm not even surprised. This is what these people do. They create insecurities for us and then provide solutions so we can pay the money to make them more rich. But speaking of unnecessary insecurities, let's talk about hip dips. As I said before, I never knew what hip dips were until I went on TikTok, and I was like, oh, okay, like now I know what it is, but I was still very confused why people did not like them. And if this is something that you're insecure about, please don't see this as me attacking you for it, as that's not my intentions at all. But I think it's very interesting to explore and see how TikTok presents hip dips as a problem to us. So hip dips, also known as violin hips, refers to a natural contouring of the hips where there is a slight inward curve just below the hip bone, creating a dip or hollow. This phenomenon is more noticeable in some individuals and can result in a shape that resembles a slight inward curve above the hips. So we're about to get a little bit technical, but stay with me. But the shape of the pelvis and the placement of the hip bones can influence the presence of hip dips. Individuals with a wider pelvis may be more prone to having noticeable hip dips. Also, the distribution of muscles and fat around the hips can also impact the overall appearance. Some people may have more pronounced hip dips due to variations in muscle and fat distribution. So this past year, I've seen a lot of videos on hip dips, and a lot of people have been complaining about it, how they hate their hip dips. But also I have seen a small portion of people who talk about loving their hip dips. But it's just very crazy, because I really did not know this was a thing until TikTok. And I don't know if hip dips have always been a major insecurity for people or if TikTok is to blame, but I would definitely say that TikTok has brought it to a lot of people's attentions. But maybe this is an insecurity that has affected a lot of people before TikTok. And I never knew that I had hip dips myself until TikTok told me I had hip dips. Honestly, I still look cute, period. You can check the Instagram, the pictures don't lie. I don't think you can even get rid of them unless you actually get hip fillers or do a cosmetic procedure. If you want to get rid of it naturally, it's not going to happen because it's literally bone. But honestly, my hip dips do not bother me, and I hope yours don't bother you either, because trust me, it's normal, it's natural, you look good. It's just normal. Like, do you want to look like an alien?
Alien superstar.
But if you are struggling with loving your hip dips, I suggest you take a little TikTok break, because over there they be doing too much. Part 3. Digitized dysmorphia. With the rise of TikTok and social media in general, the term digitized dysmorphia has been talked about more often. This term describes the pressure to conform to digitally altered beauty standards such as a super tiny waist, nice full hips, and skin clearer than glass. The constant exposure to edited and filtered content may trigger appearance concerns and impact users' perceptions of their own beauty. So that's what we will be talking about in this section. Let's get into it. So digitized dysmorphia. That's kind of a tongue twister. I don't know if I can say that. Digitized dysmorphia. Okay, period. So it refers to the psychological and emotional impact that digital tools and technologies, particularly photo editing apps and filters, can have on individuals' perception of their own body image. It is an extension of the concept of body dysmorphia, which is a mental health disorder characterized by an obsessive focus on perceived flaws or defects in one's physical appearance. In the context of digital technologies, individuals may develop a distorted view of their own body as they engage with modifying and enhancing their body before they post it online. And I feel like a really popular app is Facetune. Like, that was the ish. When I think of Facetune, I think of James Charles. I swear he was like a brand ambassador or something, but basically those apps let you change the way you look. You can change how close and how far you wanted your eyes to be. You could change your face, like your lips, your eyebrows. You could change anything. You could change yourself to the point where you look unrecognizable. The term digitized dysmorphia reflects the negative effects of these digital modifications on self-perception and the potential harm it can cause to one's mental well-being. And the thing is that basically everyone edits their pictures before they post it online, or at least 99.9% of the population of the world, they will edit their picture before they post it online. And I don't see anything wrong with that, because girl, if my picture is looking a little bit wonky, like I'm gonna add a 1-2-1-2 before I post it on Instagram. If I want to add some detail to my hair or add some detail to jewelry or something like that, like I'm gonna do it before I post it. I feel like it's just standard to do like simple editing. But actually, I feel like the standard is not even simple anymore. I think it used to be simple, but now I feel like the standard for editing is like here. Especially when I started my social media journey, I started it earlier this year and I started on Instagram. Well, technically I started my social media journey like way back in the day. I took it seriously earlier this year and I started on Instagram because I thought it'd be easier. I'm like, okay, let me start with Instagram. And I was trying to be like a fashion girly, like an IG baddie. I followed a lot of IG baddies and like they all looked perfect in their photos. Their hair was always in place. Their makeup was always done so nicely. Their outfit was always on point, and they always had like a new outfit in every single picture. I'm like, how do you guys not repeat outfits? But I aspired to be like them, and to enter that industry, you had to know how to edit, you had to know how to dress, you had to know how to do your makeup, like you had to look really good. And clearly you guys can see that didn't work out because here I am on YouTube. But when I was active on Instagram, I felt a lot of pressure for all of my pictures to look perfect. Like my hair always had to be done, I had to have my makeup on to the T, my outfit had to be like amazing, like it was just a lot. When I think about it, it was exhausting trying to keep up with all these other girls. Before I did Instagram seriously, I wasn't really paying attention to editing my photos as much. After when I got into like the industry and everything, then I was like, damn, like this is so much editing, this takes up so much time, and this is so exhausting. But honestly, my goal was to be on YouTube anyway, so I'm really happy Instagram didn't work out. And I feel like it was just God telling me like, yeah, Instagram and TikTok is not your girl, it's YouTube. And I'm so grateful that you guys have, you know, watched my videos, commented, subscribed, and liked them. Like it means a lot to me. Like I'll be honest, I don't want to get off topic, but I am very grateful for that. And I do feel like YouTube, I can come on here and be more authentic and be myself and not have to worry about looking perfect 24/7. So anyways, I just want to say thank you very much. So thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate you very much. And let me get back on track, because now I'm just talking in circles right now. But honestly, I don't think it's a problem to edit your photos and add a little 1-2-1-2. If you want to get rid of a pimple or something, like girl, like get rid of it. Like I don't think that's an issue. I feel like it becomes an issue when you become unrecognizable in your photos versus real life. If you're editing yourself to the point where you look different, then I feel like that's when the digitized dysmorphia can start, because you're already setting unrealistic beauty standards for yourself that you cannot even achieve. And this reminds me of Khloe Kardashian. So if you have been on the internet, you know that Kardashians are known for being like the beauty standard and setting unrealistic beauty standards for women. But I think last year or 2 years ago, there was this photo posted of Khloe Kardashian, and it was by accident. She was in a bikini and she was just smiling by the pool. And the picture of Khloe did look really nice, but it did catch a lot of people off guard because it wasn't edited to the Kardashian standard. The Kardashians always edit their pictures so much to the point where you can tell that it's edited. Their skin is clear, the waist is tiny, the hips are big, like that's what we're used to seeing. But in that picture, Khloe looked normal. She looked like a normal lady, and that picture was quickly deleted, but it was too late because the picture was already circulating all over the internet. And if you search up Khloe Kardashian unedited picture, that's going to be the first picture that pops up. And I wanted to show the picture in this video, but I know the Kardashian team was like attacking people for posting it, and they were basically sending out legal threats and trying to get copies of the photo taken down from the internet. But the picture is still there on Google, but I just don't want to include it in this video in case they send me like a lawsuit. I doubt it, but you know, gotta cover my tracks. But there has been plenty of times where people have noticed a difference in the pictures that Khloe has posted versus how she looks in real life. And I looked at those pictures, and I won't lie, there is a stark difference. But this is nothing new. Like we've been knew the Kardashians were Photoshop queens. They are literally the people who have pushed and promoted unrealistic beauty standards to all of us for the past decade. But the gag is that these unrealistic beauty standards that they are setting, they cannot even reach it themselves. So if the beauty standard cannot even reach the beauty standard, then we're all and it's just sad because Khloe looked amazing and she looked good and she looked natural. Like I don't understand why these people want to look like cartoons. But anyways, let's finally answer this question. Are you actually ugly? Or do you just go on TikTok too much? Well, if you have a perfectly symmetrical face, skin that resembles glass, the perfect jawline that was created by mewing, an amazing body with no sign of hip dips, high cheekbones, full lips, and a perfect chin projection, and a jaw that is slightly not recessed, I feel like I'm missing something, but I think I covered most of it. So basically, if you have all of that, you are not ugly. But if you don't have everything, then you're ugly. Sorry. And you know what's sad too? It's the fact that I know I'm missing a couple things on that list, and that just shows how impossible it is to reach the ideal beauty standard that TikTok has pushed since it has launched back in 2016. But please do not let TikTok make you feel less than, because every day they will find a new insecurity to talk about, and if you listen to them, you're going to want to change everything about yourself to the point where you look like a robot. Remember, you are unique. And your worth goes beyond digitally altered beauty standards that no one is even reaching. Not even the people who are considered the beauty standard are reaching. Kardashians. Embrace authenticity and let's create a more positive and realistic digital realm. If this video resonated with you or sparked a thought or inspired a change of perspective, please give me a thumbs up and leave it in the comments below. I really want to hear your thoughts on this topic. Share it with your friends, with your family, because who knows, sometimes a simple share can spark a positive and powerful conversation. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. And if you made it to the end, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.